What up? What up? Fantasy Football Hustler back at you with fantasy news today. Joined here with the crew. We got Bogard Scott-Free in here. We got TD from Fantasy Good Sports. What is going on, guys?
Hey, what's going on, bro?
You know what I'm saying? We just trying to survive in some leagues, and other leagues we're just total domination. Other ones we're middle of the pack. You know what I mean? We're just getting in this week 4 action.
Yeah, and not gonna lie, I'm in like 30 plus leagues, and there's a couple leagues where I'm 0-3 right now, and the injury bug got me. But that's why I play in so many leagues, because you really can't. I mean, if you know a Reaper, and I do because I'm connected to Bogard, and Bogard's connected to a Reaper, like sometimes things happen and you catch those injuries.
Separation with everyone. The fantasy Reaper is real.
Yeah. So we got to touch too much on any piece of news. We'll just give some short takes because, yeah, we got a grip of stuff to talk about. So how about some non-injury news? Richard Sherman, free agent, just announced on his podcast too, like pretty balling on the Richard Sherman podcast, announced that he's signing to the Tampa Bay Buccaneers. Bogart, what are your thoughts about that?
And shout out to my boy Jazzy McFly. First thing he told me, he's like, I bet you Sherman gets in there, he's gonna be like, you mad, bro? But hey, am I in the Matrix?
No, you're good.
Okay. No, and but here's the thing. He's gonna be number 2. Might even be number 3. Marcus Murphy Bunting, Mel Dean get healthy. Because bro, Richard Sherman is the guy who gets burned by big splash plays. That's Richard Sherman days. He's a veteran presence on a team that's needy for corner. That's pretty much all. And he's a Stanford grad. He's a very brilliant individual. He's like, if I'm going to play the game, I'm going where I can get me a ring.
Smart man. What do you think about TD? What do you think about Richard Sherman going over to the Bucs?
I think it's a great move. He's a veteran. He's going to a place where they got a great pass rush where you don't have to cover nobody longer than 3 seconds. So if you ask Richard Sherman to run forward and he's playing off the cover 3 off that he came up in Seattle, he's one of the best corners doing that. So he's not going to have to run with Tyreek Hill down the field. All they're going to ask him to do is come in on 3rd down, play that boundary corner, the cover 3, and just react to everything in front of him.
Hell yeah. Yeah, I think it's going to be solid. We already know that cornerback is one of their glaring weaknesses after their number 2 corner went out.
Oh, yeah. You ain't lying.
Okay, and then so just some quick news on the Ravens. Lamar Jackson held out of practice. They said he pretty much just got banged up on Sunday, so just seems like a veteran's day of practice or veteran's rest at practice. And then Ravens officially activated Rashad Bateman and Miles Boykin. They need it. They need it badly.
Yeah. Okay, so I got it. My IR spots now. Ain't that right, Mimi?
Yeah, we know Lamar Jackson is like a running back, guys. He needs a day off.
That is true. And that offensive
running back. So running backs, they don't practice like everybody else do in the NFL. So Lamar Jackson, that's why they came out with that game plan that they had where they didn't run the ball as much as they usually do because I feel like they felt like Lamar was a little bit beat up. So they're just trying to give him a break and not use him too much in the 17, 18-week type season that we have.
Oh, yeah.
There we go. And Anuna, sorry, we're not taking questions right now. I mean, if you want to mention anything about the news, feel free. We're going to be doing some start and sit stuff a little bit later in the day. All right. Now, how about the Titans? I don't know if you guys have heard yet, but they might be down without their top 2 wide receivers, not just one. We already knew A.J. Brown wasn't going to be there, but now they're talking about how Julio, he didn't practice today and he's getting treatment on his leg, and the coach said his status for Sunday is up in the air.
So first, I'm a stickler for always going to Anthony Ferguson. I'm like, he's probably gonna be in the game plan. But these other receivers have been getting work, and but there's so many of them. Like, are any of them viable just based on volume alone? Like, because there's gonna be a guy. Like, was it? Yeah, Wiz Raymond. Who else is there? Chester Rogers. There's Westbrook or whatever his name is.
I don't know if, one thing that we got to remember is that if your top 2 wide receivers are out, and let's just say Chester Rogers is the number 1, that means he's going up against the number 1 cornerback on the squad, something he's not really used to going up against. So I know people want to chase the volume, but I would shy away from it.
Okay.
But it's the Jets, though, too, Hustler. So with the Jets, and you got Derrick Henry, whatever they do choose to throw, should be open because they should lean on Derrick Henry if A.J. Brown and Julio is out. So I feel like Chester Rogers and Westbrook, if you did play them, you would be playing them for the touchdown upside, maybe not a bunch of targets.
Because they're not the worst against the tight end. Marcus May, they're not they're not too bad against the tight end. You have Mosey there too. That's okay in coverage. You know what I'm saying? So maybe Ferguson's not the look out there blocking because they're going to stack the box. There's going to be a guy out there. Maybe it's Westbrook because he's the big play guy, right? So like you said, if you're looking for TD, you got to listen to what TD said. You know what I mean?
And what if, there is a world that we live in that Henry goes for 200 plus yards and they literally won't even need to throw the ball more than 10 times. So I think that it's going to be a huge Derrick Henry game. You got him. Get ready for a good game.
I like that world. Let's live in that world.
Oh, yeah. Now, how about let's switch it up. We mentioned the Bucs, and I probably should have mentioned these guys right after that. So Scotty Miller going on the IR. Scotty too hotty. Not really affecting their squad. But how about, so Gronk's not practicing, Gio's not practicing, JPP not practicing. You think this is just a veterans' day of rest for Gronk and Gio? I know that they both got banged up in the game.
I think.
Yeah. Go ahead, Bogard.
No, go ahead, TD.
Yeah, I actually think Leonard Fournette, this is a Leonard Fournette game all day long because Gio is beat up. And I don't think I think they sit Gio out this week and they use Leonard. So, they're just resting these guys. They a little beat up. That's about it. Just a little beat up.
I was saying that yesterday. I actually think this is a Fournette game as well. Shout out to my Planning foreskin, right? But this dude, Tyler Johnson, also for DFS purposes, for everybody that plays, he might be a sleeper this week. When Gronk was out the game, they were Tyler Johnson come off an entire drive and a half, got a TD. So what he as the fourth guy with option because there's no more Scotty Miller. But I'm just saying it's a speculative ad if for some reason some guys are missing Gronk or in on the COVID list, right?
I couldn't hear the last thing you said. So AB is going to get he's coming back. They said he's going to be coming back to practice. It was already because he was vaccinated. So it's not that 10-day thing. It's really just the amount of negative tests in the short amount of time.
Okay.
And so Taco, why don't you chime in here on the Bucs? We're getting an echo from somebody right now.
Taco.
I just unmuted.
Oh, okay. So it wasn't Taco. Is that me?
I don't hear the echo now.
Yeah.
I think we're good.
Okay.
All
right. So the Bucs game?
Yeah, so Gronk, Gio, JPP are not practicing, and Scotty Miller just got put on IR.
I think they'll be fine. I think Gronk is going to be someone that you're going to see that always performs in games. He doesn't really even need to practice. But it seems more like just a maintenance thing. As long as you got Godwin and Evans, everything's going to be fine. I think my biggest question is what's going to happen with the running back over there, Giovanni Bernard. How hurt is he and how long is he going to be out? Because that pass catching role now and those targets will go to more than likely Leonard Fournette, which, from what you guys are saying, will be a boost to his value. And I think will make him a nice play over these next couple of weeks, depending on what kind of injury this really is.
So, in the brain,
couldn't hear you. You're a little bit in the matrix. But Gio, I got so excited watching him last week because he's the exact type of running back that they need. They need that pass catching running back, and he got double-digit targets, 9 receptions. He was just looking money out there.
Yeah, he's a negative game script type of player, and Gio always been that. So, but by him being out, the only pass catching running back is Leonard. So if Gio's not there, do you know Leonard value? He's gonna get 15 touches easily. So I feel like Leonard Fournette is the play if Gio don't play this week.
Yep, agreed. All right, Taco, we'll let you chime in on your Giants. No Sterling Shepard, no Darius Slayton at practice. You think they're both going to miss this week?
Well, they also have no wins, so it's going to be really difficult to see if they're able to pull it out. I think this week we have a much tougher matchup. But let me just pull up the game sheet. I don't have everyone set up yet, so hold on one second. Let me pull up these matchups. Boom. So it's the Giants versus the Saints. We got no shot in hell. This Saints defense has been looking legit, and if Jameis Winston can start to figure it out, I think it's going to be big for him. We just lost Blake Martinez. We're going to be down some offensive weapons. I think it's really going to be a game where you're going to have to unleash Saquon, and Kadarius Toney's going to have to make an impact. So if you're telling me those are the odds, more than likely we're not going to win this one, but it's an opportunity for some guys to, show up and show out, as they say.
Yeah. Saquon's going for 20-plus touches in this game, right?
What's up?
I said Saquon's going for 20-plus touches in this game, right?
I'd say 20-plus. I mean, what did he get last week? 13?
Seems like more than that. Let me double check that real quick. He got 16 carries and he got 6 receptions. So he was over 20 last week, got 22.
Yeah, I think he's a lock for 20 every time now. Just like we wanted.
Yeah, if he's getting those 6-7 receptions every game, I mean, in this game, I mean, with the Saints and their run stopping ability, you can throw on them a little bit easier than you can run on them. Hopefully they just give him, double-digit targets in this game. That's something that we really want to see. All right. And then TD, the echo, I believe, is coming from you. Just an FYI. So I put you on mute right now, but you can unmute it whenever. All right. How about on Curtis Samuel? So Washington. Coming back to practice, finally. But we still got no Fitzpatrick. It's going to be Heineke. I'm excited to see him come back, but I don't know what he's going to do right away with Heineke.
I contemplated, just outright cutting him when I needed space, to put someone else in the IR and, or to take him out to make a move. These are redraft leagues, obviously, because I'm Curtis Samuel – I mean, we definitely got to see it first, and I don't know if I could hold on that much longer. I do think this actually benefits Heineke. I actually picked him up to back up my Brady in that Degeneration X League. I picked him up this morning because I got to thinking. I'm like, hey, with Curtis Samuel coming back, Taylor Heineke is actually doing it for fantasy purposes. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. I mean, he could be interesting. It really depends. You don't go out and sign a guy if you don't have an idea of how you plan on using him or how he fits into your offense.
Well, how about this? He played in this offense. He was drafted by this regime with Ron Rivera and Scott Turner, right? So, and the way they used him in Carolina, they didn't really use him like Joe Brady did, because how Ohio State used. Or what was he? Did he go to Ohio State? Yeah, because Curtis Samuel was like a gadget guy. But the way they used him in Carolina with Scott Turner was just a field stretcher, splash down the field guy. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
So
and
he'll be.
Yeah, and I think he had a lot of hype coming off of last season with the Panthers, where they really started using him, and you can see he's an athletic monster that when you give him touches, he's gonna produce results.
Just get him in situations where he can get that yak, and I think he'll be all right.
Yep.
So I'm curious to see if they're going to be using him out of the backfield. Obviously they're going to be using him in the slot and little dink and dunk type stuff to try to get that yak. But, yeah, if he starts getting any kind of like goal line work like he was getting last year, in Carolina, like that just upped his value so much. I mean, getting those red zone rushes that he ended up getting in there for a touchdown.
I hope he does it because that's going to be annoying for all us Gibson guys out there. And
I know.
I'm saying though, when they were in Carolina together and they had Kyle Allen, they were trying to throw him down the field, even with Cam. Like he had a couple carries out of the backfield when Cam Newton was around, but it was like, maybe some end around, some jet sweeps. But like that's something I'm not banking on. That's why I almost feel like he's really just gonna benefit Heineke. You know what I mean? Like I don't think until I see it and I reserve the right to change my opinion. But I just feel like he's like a WR4 on a week-to-week basis.
Yep. I agree. Unless someone gets hurt or they show that he's going to become a number 2 option, I think you have to play it safe. Just because it's so scary. Like Sherman last week, that you were shooting blind with that one. You were assuming workload and you were hoping production, but you were just lucky he fell into a touchdown because he had 30 yards rushing, I think, in that game, 10 for 30.
Yep. Yeah, he wouldn't have got that touchdown. Everyone would have been really pissed.
Right, exactly.
All right, let's switch it up to the Dolphins here. So Will Fuller, doing those Will Fuller things, he got banged up at the end of the game in OT. Yep. And he's not practicing today. I don't even want to mess with Will Fuller. Like, he's going to be a lot of stress all year. If I got him in a redraft league, which I do, I'm just keeping him on the bench for at least a game or two.
Yeah, or try to package him in a deal where maybe you can get an upgrade somewhere down the line where you do a 2-for-1 and get a roster spot and upgrade a position. That's something that I like to do in some cases. Try to find some guys that are higher than him, because when Will Fuller's healthy, and if you had Bill Fuller last year, he was a beast. He puts up numbers, but in this offense with where they're
running, he's a beast when he's on steroids.
Hey, that's a little asterisk, as they say. We never know who's on what.
If you ain't cheating, you ain't trying. All right, just tell Belichick about some cheating stuff that he's done. He don't care.
It's all the dog.
And Steven, oh man, you're freaking insane. I'm not even putting your comment up here. Hopefully nobody thinks that you're serious.
Steven's comments are the best.
No. This is one I don't even want to mention.
Okay.
It's not bad. It's fake injury news. He's just messing with us, trying to get me to read it blindly. All right, Taco. We got some more news out of New York. This one is going to be for the Jet side of things. Jamison Crowder, supposedly, according to the coaches, he should be ready for this Sunday. But now Elijah Moore and Jeff Smith are in concussion protocol.
Oh wow! I mean, I think that this is the game where you're hoping that Corey Davis really comes back. With the backfield, they had Coleman, who was out last week due to injury, so he came down to 2 running backs. And between Ty Johnson and Carter finally starting to look like he's pulling away as far as at least touches and involvement is concerned. So I think that's something definitely to keep your eye on. And it might be a game where he might get more work in the passing game because they are down those receivers on the outside. But I think Crowder steps into a situation where he can be relevant. It just comes down to, can Zach Wilson make throws without making interceptions? Can he get enough plays, in a row to give a guy, some relevancy? Week 1, Davis was great, but everyone else other than that really wasn't.
All right, you guys ready for this? I'm calling the Michael Carter breakout game.
Ooh.
It is going to be not this week, but next week when they play the Falcons.
Okay. I like it.
And let me see. Wait.
Tevin Coleman's hurt. Ty Johnson ain't nothing. Maybe it did take the 4th round rookie who doesn't have true draft capital. 4th round. That's how long it's going to take him to come around. They're making him earn it.
Yep. And it's also a situation.
Really quick. Hold on. Really quick. Are they playing in London? Because it says 6:30.
I think the Falcons game is in London. I'm pretty sure. I am pretty sure.
So that may mess with my Michael Carter breakout game, or they could have really bad jet lag and he just goes off extra versus the Falcons.
jet lag with the Jets.
Yeah.
I see what you did there. The funky shit is always happens in London. Like,
Thanks.
there's the bio. What do they call it? Biorhythms?
Yep.
The biorhythms are off.
It's the food.
The bloody biorhythms in London, blow.
It's the food.
TD,
Those pies and shepherd pies and all that stuff. It fucks with them.
I like shepherd pie.
TD, what do you think about these Jets? So Jamison Crowder, supposedly he's going to play this week, said he should be good to go. But Elijah Moore and Jeff Smith are now in concussion protocol.
I guess Michael Carter and Corey Davis.
I'm not mad at Jamison Crowder, but it's also like, what happened to the legend of Denzel Mims? He's just been a healthy scratch. Do they activate him for the game?
That is interesting. We're trying to figure out exactly why he's being. Is it that he doesn't know the playbook? Is it that he's not a team guy? Is it that he's just not fully healthy? But they say he's healthy scratches. So Denzel Mims is
wasn't a second. He shouldn't have been a second round pick last year. He's definitely a project. And he went to a smaller school. So maybe maybe his learning curve is like way behind. They're just like, listen, bro, you don't know what the hell we're talking about.
And I don't know anything about the Jets coaching staff, but just from the product that I see getting put on the field year after year, I'm just going to go out on a limb and say that the Jets coaches aren't really great at bringing up talent or improving the talent that they're getting.
Well, Denzel Mims is from the old regime. He was from the Adam Gase regime.
Right.
I know a thing or two about these coaches because they came from my Niners. It's right. It's obviously Robert Saleh, but it's Mike LaFleur just trying to do his best Shanahan impersonation, and that's it's not going. It's just not looking good right now. You know what I mean? Plus, here's another thing I want to highlight is like we got to remember it's not just a rookie QB at the helm; it's a rookie head coach too. Like they're all trying to figure this thing out, and it was the Jets to begin with. It was a bad team, so this is probably like 2 seasons away before we're like, looking at Elijah Moore if he's still there or anybody there. You know what I mean?
Yep. The damn Jets. All right. And then Vanessa, what up? She said, did I miss any news about Elijah Mitchell, Dalvin Cook, or Deontay Johnson? Nope. There's not, at least nothing yet about Elijah Mitchell. The Wednesday practice, it's really not that important. Thursday and Friday are going to be super, super important for Mitchell. Sorry.
Yeah.
And then Cook, we don't know anything as of now. Deontay Johnson, we're going to talk about him in a few. And actually, you know what? Let's just jump into the Steelers right now. So, Big Ben, Juju, not at practice, but Deontay Johnson was limited at practice. So, it's looking a lot nicer on Wednesday than it was on Monday when they said he was a long shot to play this week.
Yeah. I mean, but see, here's the thing. When they limited is so vague. You know what I mean? They're literally giving us limited information. He could have just been like running on the side of the field by himself, and then that's limited practice. You know what I mean? So,
I think if it was something like that where he was literally just running on the sideline, they do mention that kind of stuff. But yeah, we don't know much. Limited at practice is all we know. So at least he wasn't out. That's better than being out.
Yeah, because that does put him on pace. So we like that a lot.
If I'm that coaching staff, I look at those situations and I say, is it rushing the guy back? How quickly do I need him back? Like Deontay Johnson, it feels like they're gonna need him. So he might force his way into that lineup. But some of these other guys like Dalvin Cook, especially with them winning last week and Madison looking so good, do you necessarily say, hey, you know what? You still feel a little something? Let's give you an extra week and let's just make sure everything is good. Or he comes back to
the Browns is a big game.
Yeah, they played the Seahawks last week, and even we talked about it on one of the shows where last year when Madison came in to spell Cook after he got hurt, he destroyed the Seahawks. Mm-hmm. He hasn't really destroyed anyone else other than the Seahawks in his career. At least I'm not mistaken.
He'll be better. Watch this week. Last week, like I said, or last year, I believe that he was dealing with some sort of injury as well. That's kind of what hampered some of his production when he did take over for Dalvin Cook. But I look at it as a situation where Alexander Madison, I like his opportunity if he plays. And let's see what they do with Cook, because if you have two guys like that, maybe they start going the way of the Dallas Cowboys, and you start seeing him involved more in order to keep Cook fresh and healthy for the playoffs.
Let me get some context behind the teams that he's played, and then we'll let TD jump in here on it. So Seattle Seahawks, as of right now, they've given up the most points to the running back out of any team. Okay. I mean, they did play Derrick Henry, who like completely got off against him. So that is, raising the scales a little bit. Now, the Browns, they've given up the third fewest points to running backs on the season. So matchups make a difference. That's all I'm saying.
All right. So then let's take it to the next level then. Who did the Browns face in their matchup? Did they face anyone of that particular caliber? Because I know they faced the Chiefs, but CEH really isn't a runner. They faced the Texans, who are really kind of scrubby.
Well, you know what's funny is out of the three teams that they faced, the Texans did the best on them, running out of everybody. So that's a little wild. They held down Montgomery this past week, and then
again, the Bears are they're horrible. Their whole game plan was written on the bathroom stall. Like the dude went in and he just knew everything that this guy was doing. Like 9 sacks. Like how do you get 9 sacks? So I don't know about that. It's still way too early for those kind of assertions. We still need a little bit more context, but I do agree. Seahawks aren't the best versus the run, but let's give Alex a little bit of credit here. The dude looked good. He looked solid in his games, and he might be a player.
TD, what do you think about Alexander Madison if he had to play this week?
If you got Dalvin Cook or you need Alexander Madison, you have to play him.
Yep. I mean, I was wrong last week telling everyone to sit him. And really, when we went back and we saw the Seattle Seahawks, lineup of last year when they went up against them, that should have been all I needed to say. All right, Seahawks are trash against the run. Let's fire them up. That's my fault. All right, that's my fault. I admit when I'm wrong.
Let's see this. Damn, you know what sucks is that one league I'm facing a guy that has Madison. So I'm like deep down, I'm like I want Cook to come back, so this way I don't have to deal with Madison. But now I kind of just want Madison to ball out so I can be like, bruh.
Told you.
Yeah.
I don't think this is going to be the week. I mean, he might. I put him as a sit on my I put him as a sit on the starts and sits. I mean, assuming that Cook didn't play. Flex-worthy guy. That's what I think. Going up against the Browns, I just feel like flex-worthy at best. Maybe he scrapes inside the top 20, but I don't think it's going to be like what it was last week.
I don't know. The Houston Texans had the best rushing attack versus them. With a team like this, I don't know. And they got guys out wide. They're not going to have Tyrod Taylor. It could be a blowout early, so he gets volume late. Game flow does kind of lean towards him having an opportunity to have a decent game and workload.
We shall see. And one thing that I did say on the video is if he gets the workload that he got last week, 20 plus touches, something like that, he should be all good in the hood. But I don't know if we can bank on 20 plus touches for Alexander Madison.
It depends on Cook. Because I think if Cook comes back, they could maybe even do it where they're 50-50 for the first week or something like that to let him get acclimated. We don't know how hurt or what the situation is.
If Cook comes back, he gets all of it. Because if he's not ready to come back, then they have Madison. Why would you bring back a guy who's like, okay,
I agree with that.
Okay to go, but I'll split, and then you still run the same risk for re-aggravation.
I agree with that.
Yeah, you really don't want. I mean, especially like Vikings. I mean, maybe before the first couple games, they had Super Bowl aspirations and going deep into the playoffs. So you already know if they can, they're going to sit a guy like Cook. This is a tough matchup, though, for sure.
Yeah. Just for the running back in general, right?
Oh yeah, for sure. All right. Bogard, get you in on this one. So Kittle missed practice today, but the coach said that he is that he should be good to go. I think it's more of like a veteran's day of rest for him. But he's been banged up this entire season. Like we already know, he plays banged up.
I mean, he got absolutely destroyed on a play that he wasn't even done. Y'all see that? It was like at the end of the game, there was like 3 defenders that fell and toppled over him. And
probably fell in. If I was a lineman and I had a chance to fall on George Kittle, I would just figure out how to do it.
Yeah, and so it was like one guy crashes into him, another guy hits him from the back, then the third guy just topples over him while he's on the ground. It's like, Trey, be quiet, son.
Not looking good out there. That's all I can say for Kittle. This week he finally looked good, but he's getting banged up. I mean, it's really that he's kind of like the new Gronk. Like when he catches the ball, whoever is coming at him is trying to destroy him and lay as much wood on him as they can, because if they don't, Kittle's going to win that heads-up battle.
Yeah. I mean, this is what makes me mad, is because it makes me feel like they know, even though he's big, he's still fragile. Because when the game's on the line, they're like, all right, now it's time to go to Kittle, because you just throw it to him short. He fights everybody for whatever yardage he needs. You know what I mean? And it's like, you would think theoretically, hey, let's do that every play, but that's not going to last. You know what I mean?
Shout out to Vanessa. Thanks for the super chat. Appreciate you. And she asked, do I drop Cephas for Hubbard? I need a backup running back. Yes, do it right now.
Do it like yesterday.
Put a comment in here just when we know that it went through, so we know that you're good to go. But yeah, do that right now.
For the bag.
Yeah. All right. For the Colts.
We did it. 3 for 3.
There you go.
Yeah.
For the Colts, no Darius Leonard at practice, no Quentin Nelson at practice. Darius Leonard, I mean, they had some backups, last year. I mean, Anthony Walker, who moved over to the Cleveland Browns and got hurt. I mean, he was the backup who, when Leonard was hurt, he came in and was balling. He's not there anymore. I don't even know who their backups are. And we already know if Quentin Nelson misses, that's going to be nothing nice. And Jonathan Taylor was limited at practice today too. So they said that it's nothing serious. So I think it's more just get him a little bit of rest on Wednesday. But Colts are banged up from top to bottom. It is not looking good for them.
Carson Wentz curse. He is the Reaper. He is the Reaper manifested onto the football field. Everyone around him gets it.
It's weird, man. I didn't know injuries were contagious, but as soon as he got over there, it was like the injuries just kept piling up.
That's what he does.
How about some Thursday night predictions? All right. So the news out of Cincinnati, no Jesse Bates and no T. Higgins. So one thing that kind of sucks, I had Cincinnati as like probably my number one streamer on the week. It was really them and Tennessee because of the matchups. Jesse Bates makes a huge difference on that, and I don't think the Jags are going to tear him up just because he's not there. But I know he's one of the cornerstones of that defensive backcourt. What do you think, TD? Jesse Bates and T. Higgins, they going to make a difference at all? And then what is your prediction for Thursday?
So Jesse Bates, even though he's vital to that defense, it's not going to make a difference because Jaguars is just not that good. But it is the NFL, so anything can happen. But T. Higgins being out, I'm saying Chase all day long. Actually, Chase is having a quiet type of rookie-breaking type season. Like, he's had a touchdown in every game. So I think he can stay on this trajectory, especially going against the Jaguars that has no E.J. Henderson. So I say play Chase, and they still win the game, and I'm still streaming that defense.
And don't forget, it's T.J. Henderson.
Oh, T.J., okay.
His name's really C.J., but I call him T.J. Henderson because of the smart guy. We're all amongst the same age group, so I know you guys will get the reference. I don't know how many people watching will get the reference. But shout out to everyone on Facebook. We have a bunch of people just started watching on Facebook. Do us a favor. We're streaming on 3 YouTube channels right now, so make sure you hop over there and subscribe. Mine's the Fantasy Football Hustler. Bogart's the GMM Network. And then TD is Fantasy Good Sports. So go subscribe to all 3 YouTube channels. They're way more lit than Facebook. Trust me. Like, if you put comments on Facebook, it doesn't come through right away. Facebook's just real finicky with stuff. So hop over to YouTube. Show some love.
Hey, yo, I just thought this is crazy. The brother's homie in that show.
Mo.
What was his name? Mo?
Mo, yeah. That's his name in the show. It's Cuba Gooding Jr.'s younger brother.
Wasn't he in Baby Boy?
Yeah. Wasn't he the one? Stop being such a little bitch, Jody.
Yes. I just realized that right now. That's hella crazy.
And he was thugged out in he was so thugged out in Baby Boy, and then you go see him on Smart Guy, as just a goofy, like teddy bear like type guy, like just making jokes and trying to get at the sister, you know, and that was about it. That show was awesome though. And you know what was great too? So we'll switch on this before we get into last Thursday talk. But yeah, if you guys haven't seen The Smart Guy, go check it out on Disney Plus. A classic show. So dang it, what is his name? The brother, I cannot think of his name off the top of my head. Hold on one second.
Oh no, Alfie was from My Brother and Me. That's another throwback joint.
There we go. Jason Weaver. It was on the tip of my tongue. I couldn't think of it. So Jason Weaver, crazy, played Michael Jackson when he was younger. Then he sings the song for The Lion King. Yeah. And I don't even think anybody knew that for the longest time. They're like, damn, Jonathan Taylor Thomas, he's got some vocal skills. Yeah. But no, they signed him on just to sing the song, and that was it. Little bit weird. And he did say that Jonathan Taylor Thomas had the role before he actually got there. But I thought it was a little weird. You know, I mean, we're talking about Africa. You know, that's where the whole thing takes place. I think Whoopi Goldberg and dang, was it Forrest Whitaker?
James Earl Jones.
James Earl Jones. That's who it was. Yeah. I think those were the only black people in the actual movie.
Darth Vader, bro. Darth Vader was Mufasa, bro.
Yeah.
King Joe.
Oh,
that was such a classic.
Yeah, and so I think it was Disney kind of getting back to him. They didn't screw him over. I think he got like they made him a deal where they were going to give him like $2 million up front, and his mom was like, "Nah, we're just going to get the royalties.
We want the back."
And so he said, still to this day, that is one of the best checks that he gets. Difference being out. What are your thoughts? Who's going to win? Who's going to win that game? Is it even going to be close?
I just want it to be, man, hit the drop. I want it to be a Sir Joe Mix-a-Lot game. You know what I'm saying? He likes touchdowns and he gets live. This should be a good running game. Should be a good running game. I mean, you could even run on the Bengals lightweight, right? What are the Bengals giving up right now? Oh, no, the Bengals are giving up like yards on the ground, huh?
Hold on. I'll tell you right now. So right now, that they're a little bit on the upper side, you know, of being really solid against the running backs. They're giving up the 12th fewest points to running backs.
So they're around like 20th. What does it say? No, they're around 10th against the run. Or maybe 12th. They're 12th against the run. You didn't say that. Okay.
Against points given up to the running back. So not yards or anything, but just points giving up to the running back. They've given up 13, 26, and a 16 performance. So they haven't given up a top 10 performance to a running back yet.
On a short week, I expect both these running backs to run. I like James too. Like, he's getting the workload now. They're not fooling around with this Carlos Hyde bullshit. I like the outlook for James Robinson. And if anyone's scared, move him now or wait till this game and he has a big game, then you move him, because then that's two games back to back where he actually – and here's the thing too. When he ate coming out of that second half, first half against Arizona, he didn't do nothing. James Robinson comes out the second half, and they're winning that game at one point. So they were using him while they were winning. You know what I mean? And then he piled up a bunch of receptions when they were losing. I feel like we're going to see a couple lead changes here. So we're going to get some receptions out of James Robinson too. You know what I mean? But I do like Chase a whole lot and Tyler Boyd a lot. I think Tyler Boyd probably has a safer floor. I always just worry about receivers in general when they're not like must-start. They're like, WR2s. I just always worry about them on Thursday nights, on short weeks. It usually favors the running backs on a short.
And the thing with the Jags, it doesn't matter how you attack them. They're giving up points through the air. They're giving up points on the ground. Literally doesn't matter. So I'm curious to see how they attack them and what's going to happen if they go up early.
Man, come on, hit the drop, bro. Sir Joe Mix-a-Lot, bro.
I like big butts and I cannot lie. You other brothers can't deny.
Yeah, he needs to ball out this week. Like, if there's a week that you need to ball out, it's being at home on a Thursday night going up against the Jags, who've been giving it up. Taco, what do you think about this Thursday game? And chime in on some James Robinson, because we know a lot of people roster him out there.
I actually have an interesting James Robinson trade. So in one of my big leagues, my boy just traded Hollywood Brown.
Hey, Marquise. Especially after his 3 drops. He ain't box office, bro. You already know that. Or call him Hollywood Florida Brown. Then that's okay. That's his full name.
So him and Gaskins,
What F-
James Robinson and Conklin. So I was like, that's like, but like to me, just kind of shows like both sides of like guys like Gaskins and guys like Robinson are feeling on shaky ground.
Wait. What was the trade again?
So it's Miles Gaskins and Hollywood Brown for what's his face?
You said James Robinson and Conklin.
And Conklin, the tight end from the Vikings.
I mean, he's just giving up Robinson, but I'd rather have Robinson, the best player in that trade to me.
Yeah,
Especially right now. I mean, it looked real shaky in the first couple weeks, but last week, if they're smart and they were actually in the game, Robinson needs to be one of their main dudes on running, receptions, everything.
It's a Darrell Bevel offense, man. This is what he wants to do. They want to run the ball, and they have James Robinson. I think that's where him and what's his name, Urban Meyer were bumping heads early, because like they have, you look at Urban Meyer, wants to spread everyone out, spread offense. You know what I mean? High flying type shit. And so that also opens up the run game. Meanwhile, Darrell Bevel wants to power run that thing. You know what I mean?
facts.
Is Trevor, I mean, I guess if they switch to, not spreading the ball out so much and not deploying 4 and 5 wide receivers, as much, is he actually going to break that interception record if they go back to a little bit more conservative? It was looking like he was going to be in the 30-30, club.
I say he throws about 16 or 17 this year.
At least.
I think he's good for every interception he throws, he's throwing a touchdown. I'm saying that. So if he might not go 30 for 30, might go like 20 for 20.
He's going to be the new age Jameis Winston for this year.
Listen, he's carving his own path. You know what I mean?
So as of right now, so each game he's thrown at least double-digit interceptions. So week 1, he threw 3 interceptions, and then week 2, 2 interceptions, and then week 3, 3 interceptions. So let me see what he's on pace for as of right now.
9. Oh, he's on pace for. He's going over. He's going over.
Right now he's on pace. I'm gonna round it up. Okay, so right now he's on pace for 40 interceptions.
I was gonna say it was well over 30.
Oh yeah.
You know what? We're giving him 27 passing TDs and 27 picks. Let's go.
Let's see how many touchdowns does he have, just for the context. So he's got 5 touchdowns as of right now, 7 interceptions.
Yeah, let's go. We're on pace.
All right. We got through all the news. Let me see if anything new came in before we get up out of here.
Oh, what's up with Chris Carson? Let me know.
I'm looking right now. So James White expected to miss the entire season with that injury. So if you got James White, might as well drop him now.
Oh no.
Who do we think? Okay, now that brings up a good point. So James White is out.
Taylor.
Okay, Bogey, you say I'm saying Brandon Bolden because of the pass work, but let's just round robin it real quick. Let's take Dame out of it because we know he's already rostered everywhere. But out of JJ Taylor, Brandon Bolden, Ramondre Stevenson, are you targeting anyone on waivers? And if so, who would be the one player you're targeting? TD, let's start with you and we'll round robin it.
Brandon Bolden, because I've seen it. That's the only reason why.
Here's the thing with Brandon Bolden. Brandon Bolden will always be active in the game on the active roster because he plays special teams. So when something happened to their player in game action, this guy immediately jumps in. Same thing we've seen it with Elijah Mitchell's of the world. Whenever the guy goes in, the active guy who's on special teams is gonna kick in if he's a running back too. You know what I mean? So
now here's what's dope about that too. If you play in a league with IDP, you get those special teams tackles that he gets. So for anyone who played in just a standard league, I mean, I think he got like 3 points or something like that. It wasn't anything. But if you play in a league where you get those IDP points, I mean, I think, well, in the leagues that I play in with IDP 1, 2, 3, he had 13 points.
Brandon Bolden?
Yeah.
See, I like JJ Taylor. They're playing the Bucs. Like, if we're gonna talk about this week, you know what I'm saying? They're playing the Bucs. You know, what's his name? Damian Harris. He's gonna be running into a brick wall all day. They're gonna need the James White role. The guy who's being vetted to be James White's predecessor is JJ Taylor. You know what I mean? And what's crazy too is like they were taking shots. He was taking shots down the field to him in preseason. Y'all remember that? Like the first thing, like right outside of it was like 2 weeks in a row. It was right outside of his fingertips. But it was like
was it Cam though, or was it Jones?
No, it was Jones.
Okay.
You know what I mean? So this is why I'm pointing this out, because while they're going hurry up, it was him. He just put up 300 yards against a funnel defense last week. A funnel defense in the Saints, because their secondary was ass. They gave up 300 yards passing to Mac Jones. You know what I mean? Here's Tampa Bay. Tampa Bay's secondary isn't good. I mean, their safeties are great, but their corners are shot right now. So he might be able to dunk his way to 300 yards for real. You know what I mean? It took him 50 attempts. But like I'm saying, if he's going to be passing the ball 50 times, which I think he is, these guys are going to eat. J.J. Taylor's going to be one of them. And then obviously, Jacoby Myers, my baloney, has a first name. He's going to get hella. You know what I mean?
Well, I mean, here's the one thing that I'm going to say about this is that when we looked at it in that game where they were playing from behind, they really had to shy away from Harris because he wasn't able to do much as far as pass protection was concerned. And they leaned on Brandon Bolden as being that guy because he was able to pick that up. He played over Taylor, which gives me an inkling that Bolden might be the guy to start with, and we know how stubborn Bill could be. He could be like, you're sucking, but you know what? You pick up that blitz good, so you know what? You're going to be
He's a special teams guy. That's why he was there.
Mm-hmm.
In that moment,
But Taylor was on the active roster last week.
Okay.
And he played over him.
You're a rookie. When everything goes to shit mid-game, that's your adjustment? No. He's like, I'm going to get my savvy veteran guy to fill in for the rest of the game. Now, all week of game planning, we might – listen, would y'all be surprised if they come out and it's Ramondre Stevenson this week? No, we wouldn't be, because it's Belichick. You know, Bellatrix, as some people might call him. You know what I mean?
Facts. This is why I said earlier, you cannot bank on this.
But that's why I said I'm looking at how the Buccaneers are going to attack Mac Jones is with that pass rush, and that ball is going to come out quick, and all the built-in hot reads are going to be the James White roll and the Julian Edelman roll. But now these days it's Jacoby Myers, and it's going to be J.J. Taylor. And I fully expect everyone to tell me I was wrong if it doesn't go down that way. But that's how I see it. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I mean, I'm going Bolden. I picked up Bolden over Taylor slightly. I'm probably going to pick up both of them because I don't know what Bill's going to do. I like to be safe, not sorry.
Next league, right? Go grab one right now. Show me that you got it.
I actually just did. Because I have.
There you go. That's what I'm saying. Because we all have our own opinions, but when you see the activity that, oh no, this is what you're actually doing, I respect that. You know what I mean? Because that's how I feel. I'm telling people, go get J.J. Taylor, because I've been holding on to J.J. Taylor.
Bro, and J.J. Taylor looked good. I picked up Malcolm Brown also on the
That's how ugly it is. When we're talking picking up Malcolm Browns and J.J. Taylor's hella early. Yeah, we was early on them. Like, that's how ugly our situations were then.
In week four, we got a deep dive for guys like that.
But remember this, our pain is your profit.
Guys, the rest of the year though, that's why we have to run the risk.
But think about this, Bogey. Our pain is their profit. These people will see us going through these situations and be like, well, at the very least, I can get this guy.
Oh man,
I can try to get that guy.
It's called you want to know what that is? I coined this phrase I think like the first year I started playing fantasy. It's called Fantasy Row. And we all live on Fantasy Row. But row is an acronym, WROE. The fantasy wide range of emotions. And we all live on Fantasy Row.
Yeah,
that could be a whole show for real.
Oh yeah. and just let everybody let out their emotions, because we know how emotional people get. And I'm not going to lie. One thing that is crazy is how emotional people get during the games. Like when it's the first quarter. First quarter is not even over. And like their opponent just happened to, play somebody who threw up 2 TDs or something, on their team within the first quarter, and their team hasn't done shit. Like that's when the emotions really start coming out. I'm all about the positive vibes. Everyone who starts freaking out real early, I say if you freak out right now, you're going to lose. So you better just switch it around and be positive, and you might have a shot to win.
I was just telling him, I say, raise the morale.
I am the complete opposite of both of you guys. I employ the reverse jinx. I employ it early. I employ it often. I employ it annoyingly. I use it in group chats. I will let him know how you're.
He comes on the show, starts trying to reverse jinx everything.
Yeah, exactly, bro. And it's worked. It's worked. I swear to God, it's worked. People hate me for it too. Oh, does it piss people off? They're like, no, fight back. I'm like, oh man, why are you gonna win?
See, the reverse jinx is an art form, because any good analyst can see any situation and look at it both ways. Like, for example, let's talk about JJ Taylor again. I just explained how I view JJ Taylor, but I can easily see why someone would say, no, it's not JJ Taylor. Oh, he's a rookie. Or, he didn't get in when James White went down. They sent in Brandon Bolden. Like, there's all these different arguments. You got to be able to view both sides. So if you're ever trying to reverse jinx it, you know how to do it well. You know what I mean?
And you know who's someone also that's interesting that might be coming off the IR is N'Keal Harry, who actually had a little
No.
Yeah, man.
I don't know if this is a reverse.
He said, guess who's back?
Not
back again. He's on my IR. Harry's back.
It's your team.
Tell a friend. Guess who's back?
I hope I don't have to mess with N'Keal Harry. I really hope my teams aren't doing that bad to where I'd have to pick him.
Listen, man, depth is needed everywhere.
It definitely is.
You missed the Brian Edwards trade. You missed the Brian Edwards trade.
Yo,
you should have been.
I like Brian. Brian Edwards, low-key, has shown a nice little rapport. He's made some nice touchdown catches. I don't know how much volume he gets with it, but so far with the way Carr's been throwing, I low-key kind of like Edwards.
Anytime there's a quarterback that average like 40 pass attempts, you like everyone there. You know what I mean?
Yep.
Like with it's fantasy. You know what I mean? Like you just give me
in those situations, it's like David Carr has a buffet and all the receivers are eating.
Yeah.
All right, last piece of news, and then we're gonna get out of here. We don't even have to chime in on this, so after I read this out, we'll just round robin it. Tell everybody on Facebook where to find us at. So, 2 things from the Seahawks. Number 1, Pete Carroll said that Rashad Penny could play right now. They're just erring on the side of caution because literally every time he plays, he gets hurt. And then they also placed Gerald Everett on the COVID reserve list, and he hasn't really been doing anything anyways. So let's round robin it.
Fuck him.
Yeah, let's give our shout outs, and shout out to everyone who's watching on Facebook right now. Looks like there's a few dozen people on there right now, so shout out. TD, why don't you tell everybody where to find you at?
Yeah, guys, go to any social media platform and go to Fantasy Good Sports. You can find me. Also go to OnlyFans. I'm there too at Fantasy Good Sports. And yeah, guys, just giving cutting edge content. So just tune in and subscribe to my YouTube channel at Fantasy Good Sports.
Bogey?
Yeah, the earth is my turf. You can find me at the GMM Network on YouTube. Man, it's all love. Shout out to everybody.
Taco, tell them where to find you at.
Thanks. Y'all can find me at the Daily Sporting on YouTube, Facebook, Instagram, TDS Taco on Twitter, TDS Blitz on Instagram for our football content. We're getting that basketball stuff ready. Preseason getting going. Media day just happened, so we're about to see some good stuff on that end. So we're about to get lit.
So wait a second. Rashad Penny ain't the guy right now, right? Because I got Alex Collins everywhere.
Yeah, it's a DJ Dallas. He's that pass catching dude that looked like he was in.
I'm not messing with anybody other than Carson right there. And yep, let's smoke it up for JC Money Design, 4:20 Central Time. You already know. And then Troy, thanks for your question. We're going to be doing the start and sit live stream a little bit later today. Everyone on Facebook, make sure you hop over to YouTube and go sign up for my channel. Go subscribe, Fantasy Football Hustler. we're doing a signed Ricky Williams jersey giveaway. We're less than 100 subscribers away, and then we're going to be giving this thing out. And then I got another jersey that's going to be right in the works for right after that for 2,000. So get ready. Go subscribe, turn on those notifications. I already dropped my wide receiver start and sit video. The running back start and sit videos drop in within about an hour. And then we got start and sit live in a couple hours. And then we got the real fantasy playmakers tonight at 9:30 Eastern, 6:30 Pacific on my channel and on Bogard's channel, the GMM Network. So a lot of content coming out. Make sure you subscribe to everybody's channels here. We're going to set you guys up for success.
Yeah.
All right. We're out of here. We'll see you a little later today. And for anyone who just taps in on the news, we'll see you tomorrow, 4 p.m. Eastern, 1 p.m. Pacific. Peace out.
Peace.